Green light, give us all you can.
Hello and welcome everyone. This is Ruse TV, the Race on Oz League. This is Pan Am Racing. It is round number 4 of the Northern Hemisphere Summer Championship. This round we are in Spa, which is looking to be a cracking race. We've got a field of 26 so far, so I think someone was asking for that in the chat. So 26 cars in the field so far. We had 35 last round in Spa. Not in Spa, in Monza. We're in Spa this week. Let's have a look at how that went last round, a couple of weeks ago. So it was Gage Gonzalez who took the victory for Pro. I think he qualified on pole position and pretty much wasn't heated. He was able to get a cracking start and pretty much just drove away from the field for the majority of the race. So it was majorly unchallenged. It was a lot of action, though, going on throughout the rest of the field as well. So some really good battles there from start to finish. We had a clean start, which was awesome for Monza as well. In terms of the silver winner, that was Drew Burakovsky. He took out victory in the silver class. And then Rowdy Burns, I think that was his first race in for the season. And he took out victory there for the AM class there. So though the last round's 3 class winners, Gage Gonzalez, Drew Burakovsky, and Rowdy Burns. Congratulations to those 3 drivers. Let's have a look at how that's reflected in the standings. So you've got there Gage Gonzalez sitting on top, 3 race victories in a row. Can he make it number 4 today? He sits at top of the times of free practice, so he's putting himself in the best position to do that. Alberto Alvarez, he's had 2 seconds. He didn't start the last race, so he is in the lobby today. So he'll be looking to challenge Gage Gonzalez. Then you got Ramdani, 2 thirds in a row. He's sitting in 3rd position. Juan Carres, he's had a couple of 4ths as well, sitting in 4th position on 48 points. Alves didn't have a great race last round, finished 16th. He sits in 5th on 46. I'm not Jimmy. After starting the season with a podium, he finished 10th and 11th the last 2 races, so that puts him down in P6 right now. Matt Devine finished 5th last race on 36 points in 7th. Also on 36 points in 8th position is Steve Young. Andrew Sherman, 9th position, 36 points. That's where he finished the last race. And the person who came 2nd in Pro Class last round, was Matt Artem. He sits in 10th on 32 points. That's the top 10 for the Pro drivers. Let's have a look at the Silver drivers. So Drew Burakovsky, last round race winner for Silver class. He sits at the top of the standings there on 72 points. Devin Anthony, 2nd in 56. Tied for him is last week's podium getter, Vadik. He's had a 2nd and a 3rd the last 2 races after a DNF in round 1. So keep an eye on him today. Dan Schneider, he finished 2nd in Silver class last week. He's in 4th on 54 points. Chris Rice, he finished 1st in class in round 1. 9th last week. He's 5th position on 50 points. Brad Lee had a really good, nice, consistent start to the season. 48 points. John Rohrer in 7th on 42, so is Curtis Ruston in 8th position, and then Jonathan Poe on 40 points in 9th, and Stu Skinner rounding out the top 10 on 38 points. Let's take a look at the AM standings. So it's Ryan Valentine still leading the way. He sits atop there on 72 points. 2nd is Julie on 60 points, and 36 points Rowdy Burns after his race victory last week. And then Alexievich, 4th last round, 24 points. Not too far away from getting this one started. Let's take a quick look at the track. It's a track that really needs no introductions. Many drivers' favourite. One of the most driven circuits, I would say, in any racing game, let alone ACC. It's the famous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. 20 turns, 7.04 kilometres. Lap times around here, anything under 2 minutes 18, you're doing pretty good, and we've got that at the moment. Gage Gonzalez at 2 minutes 17.772 around this circuit. It's going to be a cracker. I don't think we're going to really see any weather, so fingers crossed, and we see a dry race as I take you to the live pictures. And it was Gage Gonzalez who sits atop of the times with a 2:17. Hello to everyone in the chat as well. I see Mr. Berry, Rowdy Burns is in there, MLCIT, EC Companies Racing, Sharkbait God, I've seen that name a few times. So welcome to everyone in the chat. We did actually get over 500 subscribers last week. So we ticked it over on Monday Australian time. So a massive thank you to all of those who watch Pan Am and that have liked and subscribed throughout the journey so far. Looking forward to bringing to you much more sim racing as we're watching Gage Gonzalez just slowly work his way back to the pits. I think Drew Burakovsky is the one that's just holding us up at the moment. He's making his way through Blanchimont. Ooh, getting up on the curb there. That is a very risky move through there, but the Lamborghini can handle it. And once he makes his way across the line, I think this lobby will get going. Bradley, he's got the checkered flag. There we go. All right.
Green light, give it
All
okay.
set. Ready to go. Drive. Yeah, beautiful. All right. So it is going to be, looks like Bradley is going to be the driver to get us going. Now, Jeremy Eastcott, I saw your livery. I tried to download it, but it hasn't worked for whatever reason, so apologies for that. Let's get two cars out on circuit. So Bradley making his way out there. Andre Robinson in that very distinctive liveried Mercedes. And that Steve Young is out there. The 194 Porsche, we'll see how he goes this round. Alvarez making his way back after missing last round. Rowdy Burns in the Porsche as well. He's out on circuit. It's a long lap. So it's only a 15-minute qualifying session. So these guys, I have found it does take a couple of laps to really get the tyres in the right temperatures and pressures around this circuit. Perhaps that's just me though, but we'll see how these guys fare. Retro Coffin with that beautiful black on black livery, a little bit of brown in there as well. Jimmy with a new livery this week as well, so Ranch Blasters. Not too sure what that's in reference to, but Jeremy Eastcott had a very, very similar livery, but didn't quite download properly, so see if we can get that sorted for next time. Chris Rise as well. He's out there on circuit. Gage Gonzalez just flying by him. But we should see car number, I think it was 69, was out there. Yep. I'm not Jimmy. It looks like he's going to be the first car to start a timed lap. Let's see how he goes as he comes down into turn one. La Source. Tricky braking zone. Braking markers around here, not exactly plentiful. So it is probably one drawbacks of this track. Ooh, getting very close to the wall as he goes down the hill. Approaching the famous Eau Rouge. Up the top through Radion. And then the Kemmel Straight. 710 metres. The Kemmel Straight, so it is a kind of a tricky in-between distance. See a lot of overtaking happening through here. So he comes up into the turns 7, 8 and 9, the Lacombe section if you like. Riding the curbs, you want to ride the curb there, pulls the car to the left, get on the power nice and early. Oh, he does that, then it's down the hill, tricky braking zone. Sometimes it's a first gear corner. Takes a while for the car to finally rotate through the corner. Then up on that curb on entry. This is looking pretty smooth right now from Jimmy. Now into Pouon, double left-hander, down into fourth. Open up the throttle. It's a great feeling when you get this corner right. Running slightly wide on the exit. He has invalidated this lap though. We'll stick with him for now. See what gear he goes down into here. Second or third? Yep, down into second. And then does he take this flat? Yeah, you can invalidate the lap there, but that's a very friendly curb, so you can run it wide without any major risk. See if he takes Blanchimont flat out as well. Yep, no troubles at all. See how late on the brakes he gets into. Oh, that is very late. After that white line, well after the white line. Up through the bus stop chicane. Very familiar with this circuit. Did a 6-hour enduro around here last week. So, hence my knowledge is right up to date at the moment. 937 Retro Coffin. He's the next driver to come through. He's invalidated his lap. And a couple of drivers invalidating laps right now. Rowdy Burns. He's out there on a valid lap right now. We've not had anyone set a valid time yet. I think Rowdy Burns is going to be the first to do so. It was a 2:17.7 in free practice, was the fastest time. That is a rapid time, by the way. Gage Gonzalez, no surprise there. All right, here's Rowdy Burns now, setting the first timed lap of the qualifying session. It is a 2:21. Sorry, Steve Young had already set a time. Drew Stanley making his way across the line. Juan Carres will be the next one. Keep an eye on him, see how the Porsche goes around here with the update. And he goes, puts his time in. This is Devin Anthony coming through. So Steve Young, 2:19. It's the best time so far. Is Gage Gonzalez out there? We'll pick him up shortly. Who else? Burakovsky, so the silver class, last round's winner. And championship leader for silver class. So Steve Young, a 2:19 flat. Best time of the session so far. We're almost halfway through. So being quite a long lap. Don't get the opportunity to put too many laps in to set your qualifying time. So that can sometimes mix up the grid a little bit. Lots of invalidations I can see here right now on my screen. Mr. Berry, is there a good team? Is there a good team? I should start off with getting a sponsor on a car. Oh, Mr. Berry. Well, I guess it really depends on what you want, right? What's the business? What's the sponsorship? All that sort of stuff. So, here's I'm Not Jimmy. This will be a time lap. I see all green. And he goes to the top of the time. So, nice work from him in that new liveried Lamborghini, the 937 Porsche Retro Coffin. He is down on his best time. Don't think he's going to improve. Let's see where he does come out though. P8 for now. This is Alves. Didn't race the last round at Monza. Gage Gonzalez is out there, but he's invalidated his lap as Alves goes to the top of the timesheets. What about Schneider? Dan Schneider. He goes to P9. Nice work from him. What about Curtis Ruston? Rowdy Burns just getting out of the way. Getting out of the way of someone there. Ruston through the bus stop. Truck is at optimum. Track temperature 27 degrees. 24 degrees air temperature. P13 for Ruston. What about Vatic? He goes up into P9. Nice work from him. Chris Rise. ZR Boys number 18 Porsche. Won the first round for silver class. Had a shocker in Imola. Got caught up in some incidents and then bounced back a little bit last round. So P9 for him. And he goes to P10 right now for the grid. Here's Sean Vinson. Kind of haven't seen too much of Sean Vinson this season. We'll see if that changes today. P16 for now. Kenneth Smith. So Gage Gonzalez, our championship leader, still yet to set a timed lap. This is Kenneth Smith. Making his way across the line. Goes up into P7. Nice lap from him. What about Jeremy Eastcott? in the number 19 Ferrari. That's an invalidated lap, so that's why he didn't move up the timing screens. Retro Coffin again, heading on another lap. He is up on his time by 1.5 seconds. And to get him into the top 10 if he's able to maintain that pace. Nice entry and exit of the bus stop. That Porsche looking lovely right now. Able to handle that with no dramas whatsoever. And he goes up into P10. Nice lap from him. What about Usman in the Audi? This will be his first time lap. The number 28. And he is going to go up into P9. So nice lap from him. What about Bradley? This will be his first time lap. P19. Who else do I have out there? Curtis Ruston. He's up on his best time. Where is Gage Gonzalez? Still hasn't set a timed lap. So less than 5 minutes remaining. It's Alves, Jimmy, Sky, Carres, Robinson, Ramdani, Smith, Stanley, Usman, and Hackett. 27 car field. And this is Ruston into P17. What about John Rohrer? He's going for a bit of a Jimmy type of livery there with the purple. Bit of gimmick infringement right there. P22. 7 tenths up on his best time. Moves up into P21. So heading north. That's the main thing there. Alves, Jimmy, both just on in laps right now. Smith, he's on a very, very slow lap. Let's go to Burakovsky in the Lamborghini. Got a little bit of traffic up ahead here. These two, bit of race simulation there up ahead. If that's who else is that in the Mercedes? Is that I think that's Ali Zivic. Apologies if I've butchered your name there. Who else? Rowdy Burns. He's down on his best time in P19. Gage Gonzalez, where are you? All right, let's go have a look at this guy. Ooh, sliding there out of that was out of turn 9. Down the hill. Turn 10, still in second gear. Oh, a little snap of oversteer there. Able to catch that without any dramas. Running wide on the exit of No Name or Jack Yates corner or 11, whatever you want to call it. Into Pouan. Yeah, that thing looks planted. Audi gets out of the way. Good driving to him. Through campus. Yeah, using all the curves. This looks pretty tidy right now. This is going to be a super fast lap. It's going to be in the dying stages too because we've only got a tick over 2.5 minutes remaining here. Oh, look at that. That is lovely. That is lovely. This is heading up the back straight now. Let's see if it's flat out through Blanchimont. I have no doubt it will be. Gets wide on the exit. Ooh, a little bit on the curb. Let's see how late he brakes here. Oh, that is very late. That's great stuff. Oh, he ran a little bit deep there though, so he scrubbed off a whole heap of time. I still don't think that's going to be too detrimental. I reckon he's going to go to the top of the times. Goes P2. So 0.08 of a second slower off the best time. Right now, Gage Gonzalez, Burakovsky, he's in P10. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the sessions. Alves, Gonzalez, Jimmy, Stanley, Sky, Carres, Robinson, Ramdani, Smith, Burakovsky. He's trying to move up a spot into 9th at least. Don't think he's going to do it on this lap. Qualifying coming to an end. Setting the grid for round number 4 of the Pan Am Racing Summer Championship. Northern Hemisphere Summer Championship, that is. As Burakovsky run to the line, he's not going to improve on his time. Andre Robinson is trying to do exactly that. He's 0.3 up on his best at the moment. P7 might sneak him into P6 here if he's lucky. Let's see how he goes through Blanchimont. No worries. Big heavy front engine car able to drag the car through the corner. Hard onto the brakes. Into the bus stop. Got to be careful of those big red sausage curbs. Robinson, I don't think he's going to improve enough here to move up a spot. I don't think he will. Yeah, he does improve on his time, but not enough to move up a position. This is Hackey. Gerlandi Hackey. P14. 30 seconds left in the session. So he'll get another crack at it if he wants to. Runs deep at the bus stop. Such a frustrating. It's a tricky braking zone. Very tough. Hard to... you've got to pick the marker, the markings on the road for it, which makes it very tricky in terms of when the light changes as well. This is Guzman. That could be said for any circuit, but that braking zone in particular. It's 6:29 in game time, 6:29 p.m. as we go on 000. So this will be the last chance for Guzman. He's P13 right now. He's 8/10 up on his best time. Let's see how late he brakes. There you go. The road goes a little bit darker. Getting the car as wide as he can on the entry. Getting close to those sausage curbs on the exit. And Guzman goes up into P8. So nice job from him. What about Burakovsky? He's down on his best time. Ramdani will be the other one. There's other drivers out there. So Gage Gonzalez, he's gone to pole position. A 2:17.135. Alvarez is out there right now on a lap. Let's go to him. I hate it when this happens. We don't have a livery for Alvarez. I looked for it in Awesome Racing Alberto, but I could not find it, unfortunately. So hopefully he's able to upload one for next round. He's 3/10 up on his best time. Oh, it's a big snap out of campus, and that is an aborting of the lap. What about Ramdani? He moves up into 10th. Alves is the other driver that's out there right now. And I don't think he's going to be able to improve on his time. Can he? No, I don't think he will. So he's going to drift out to a couple of tenths slower. So he's going to start from P3. And that is everyone. So our grid for round number 4 of the Summer Pan Am Championship is Gage Gonzalez once again taking pole position. Well done to him. So pole to Gage Gonzalez. For the silver class, it's Burakovsky. Well done to him. He's going to start from P12 outright. And then for the AM, it's Valentine, followed by Rowdy Burns, P20 and P21 between those two. So Gonzalez, cracking time to him, a 2:17.135. So almost got into the 16s. That is a super, super fast time. 6/10 the difference between him and Alberto Alvarez. Gage Gonzalez is back. He's here. He means business, and he is looking to make it 4 wins on the trot. We will be back very, very shortly to begin the race. Sit tight. Be back in around about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And, yeah, we'll get round 4 underway. Alright, we're back, everyone. So, let's have a look at the field. Alright. Getting back here. Oh. Actually. Smooth. Ah, there we go. Alright. Now. Alright, so our pole position sitter, Gage Gonzalez. He's going to be starting from pole position. Next to him, Alvarez. Keep an eye on for Alves there in the green, blue, and yellow Ferrari. Let's have a look at this livery of Jimmy's, actually. Hidden Valley, the original ranch sauce. Yeah, right. Ah, it's cool. I like it. Ah, side of ranch, please. Yeah, right. Okay. So very nicely done. Ah, I love it. Look at this guy. Love it. Ranch it up. All right. It's obviously some sort of in-joke, but talented nonetheless to be able to put that together. Have a look at this. The 08 Mercedes belonging to Drew Stanley. The very distinctive white and black liveried, not 194 Porsche. Here's Carres in there as well. I like this. I like the number 28 Audi as well. Andre Robinson in there. Who's that? That's Ramandi. Kenneth Smith. So I don't know if this is a new one or if it's an in-game livery. It looks quite nice though. So I'm digging it. That's Barakovsky. The Nissan in there. Tavatic. The number 99 Lamborghini there. Oh, we're going. Alright, so alright, let's follow them around as they make their way off the grid. We're going to go follow them through Eau Rouge. As they all make their way up through the top of Radion. Decent field again, 25 cars I do believe. Step J, Little Russian Fox sent me. Yeah, right. In the chat. Got 12 likes, that's pretty good. Thanks everyone, much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Plenty of action on the Ruse TV network. We ticked over 500 subscribers this week. Fantastic effort from all. Very, very grateful for everyone's support. I think we're building a nice little community around here. Plenty of action on the network as well. Pan Am. Got a 4-hour enduro next week. Got a new co-commentator coming on board. That's going to be fun. So making their way to turn 10 Brussels. Or Brussels, as you say in Australian. Got the slang on there. And turn 11, tricky little corner this one. See, this would be a great spot to watch racing from. Check that out. Wouldn't that just be great? Look at that. That's the view. James Pierre Reid, one of the Race on Oz participants, PC drivers. He's over in Europe at the moment. Went to Le Mans and then is going to go do the Spa 24-hour race as well. Not do it, watch it. Not be a spectator. But living the dream, I tell you. This is the famous Pouon. So a great feeling when you get this corner right. Get the car planted through there on entry, down from 5th into 4th. And then just turn it in, it just grips up. You can put your foot flat to the floor. Feels good. You want to brake around about this total sign. And then you make your way through Campos. Campus, however you want to pronounce it. The tricky little part of the track here. So you got this sort of downhill right-hander. And then you want to try and be able to keep it wide on the entry, and then turn in again. This circuit is a lot about precision, as much as it is about just raw pace and speed, because the majority of the hang on a second, there's my cursor. This is not good. Trying to get my cursor going again. Oh man. Hang on, I've lost my cursor. No, this is not good. That's what you get for messing around. Where has my cursor gone? Oh, this is not good, everyone. This is not good at all. Oh no. There it is. Got it just in time. Woo! That was close. Starting to panic. Alright. Nice and smooth. Joe Blow, great commentary. Thanks, Joe Blow. It's a thumbs up emoji. Appreciate it. Now, we're crossing the start-finish line, but that is not the GT start-finish line. It is the, that's where the F1 starts. Pit lane here is extremely long. It is so long. It takes an eternity. But Gonzalez starting from pole position again. They're all going to filter through here. Retro coffin there. Alright, let's get to the front of the field, shall we? As they're almost at the start-finish line. Ready to get this one. Round number 4 underway. Pan Am Racing. There it is. There is the signal. They're all going to filter down into Eau Rouge. Everyone making it through relatively clean. They do. Great start from everyone. It's going to be Gonzalez leading the way up the Camel Straight for the first time today. He's already got a pretty decent little gap on third there as well. Alvarez in second as they all filter in. Going 3 wide there. That was Barakovsky, and it's ended in tears, so that will have championship implications there. Let's just see what happened on the replay. Let's quickly get to it. As we go to the replay, and my replay is not working. All right. Vincent has had contact as well. That's what didn't work. I had a letter in there. Anyway, my apologies. So Burakovsky's fallen all the way down through the field. Aurora's made a couple of spots as well. So Alvarez, so Gonzalez has already put almost a 1 second gap on Alvarez in second. Alves, Jimmy in fourth there. Steve Young sitting in fifth. Carres in seventh, just chasing down Stanley. Vatic looking to get past the number 28 Audi. But most importantly, it looks like everyone's managed to get by through turn 1 in the first sector at least without too many dramas. So Burakovsky, our silver class leader, fallen all the way down into 24th, and he is now last in class. So that does have championship implications. He's our championship leader. So the person who's in second is Devin Anthony in that silver class championship, and he's up in P13 right now, currently second in class. As they filter into the bus stop, got a little bit of action going on here. That's the Lamborghini of Rustin. Oh no, Chris Rise again. And then there's, I think that's Brad Lee in the Lamborghini. Oh, that's all very. Let's have a look at the replay here. How this? So that was another Lamborghini. Was that John? I don't think it was John Rohrer. I'm not too sure. And then Chris Rise, and that is where he has ended up, unfortunately, as he gets back going again. Back to the live action. Oh, what's happened to Usman in the the number 28. Let's see if we can catch what happened here. We go to the replay. This is through a Rouge. Oh, he's just hit the bump. Oh, wow. And he's spun at the top of Ratty on there. And he'll have to get going again. We'll go back to live action momentarily right now. Beautiful. Alright. So, just to give you an idea of the action at the front, this is Alberto Alvarez. Gage Gonzalez is 1.6 seconds up the road, so he's in a race of his own again. He did this last round in Spa, and he's doing it again. He's looking to make it race win number 4 on the trot, as Eastcott and Schneider going at it in 15th and 16th. Going around Pouon there, and Eastcott loses the spot to Schneider in the BMW. So it moves up into P15. Barakovsky starting to make up ground again, worked his way back into P19. So we'll keep an eye on him as he charges up throughout the field after his little incident on lap 1. As we're looking at Drew Stanley and Juan Carres, they're 6th and 7th. Ooh, might flick across to Jimmy and Steve Young for a second here. They approach the bus stop chicane. See a lot of overtaking action through here. Not at this stage. And then you got Robinson and Stanley following behind. And oh, what's happened to Eastcott? That looks like it was out of Blanchimont. Let's go to the replay and see what happened here. Oh, we pick it up as it's happening. And, oh, that's a big hit too. That is going to be a lot of damage. So, that is going to put a ginormous dent in his race. And we'll go back to live pictures in 3, 2, 1. Here we are. Cool, so he's in the pits now. Saving grace was that he was right near the pit entry, so he didn't have to trundle around for another lap around this 7-kilometre circuit. As we pick up Jimmy, chasing down Steve Young. This is for 4th and 5th right now. Steve Young just set the fastest lap of the race on that last lap around. So he's got that Porsche hooked up nicely. And they've got Alves just ahead of them as well. So 3rd, 4th and 5th, very, very tightly bunched right now. Vadik is the leader of the silver class. He's in 9th outright. And Guzman just putting a move on the AM class leader, Valentine, who's got Rowdy Burns tucked in behind him, 0.4 of a second, the gap between those two. So keep an eye on that little battle for the AM division. But in the meantime, we might just stick with these guys for a bit, because this looks like it's a cracking race between these guys. Jimmy last round finished 11th. Steve Young finished 12th, so these two would be familiar with one another from the last round at least. Similar spots on the championship, 6th and 8th right now. Lamborghini is trying to keep up with the Porsche in front and the Ferrari in front of that. Oh, getting right on the curbs, that's very adventurous. Late on the brakes into the bus stop. So race settling down into an early rhythm. Might just flick across to Rohrer and Burns. So this is a silver class driver versus an AM driver. Rowdy Burns, last round's AM winner. He's got Valentine ahead of him, the AM championship leader, and 2-time race winner the previous rounds before last round for Valentine. So interesting situation they have on circuit. 18th, 19th and 20th, these cars fighting it out for. As we'll just switch across to Drew Stanley and Carres. This is for 6th and 7th right now. Up the Kemmel straight, hard on the brakes. Dump it into the right-hander, try and get on the curb and hook the car into the left. Keep on the power, short shifts up into 3rd. A little bit of oversteer on the exit, that's alright. Get it up into 4th, down into 2nd for turn 10. Stays in second. Just a little bit of understeer there through turn 11. Nothing that he can't handle. Two closest cars out on the circuit. Right now, Gage Gonzalez though is our race leader. He is 2.7 seconds ahead of Alberto Alvarez. Alves is in third. Steve Young, Jimmy, 4th and 5th. Carres 6th. Stanley 7th. Robinson 8th. Vadik 9th. And Smith 10th. Vadik is the leader of the silver class. Valentine is the leader of the AM class. Out on circuit. Vadik 9th overall. Valentine 18th overall. And they're all chasing one man. Not these guys though. Let's go to the replay and see how that happened. I'm Not Jimmy has managed to get past Steve Young. And oh, Young, just a little mistake there. That back end just stepped out. And that was enough for Jimmy to slip through. And no problems at all there. So he moves up into 4th. Let's get back to Stanley. He's all over the back of the Porsche with Juan Carres. They head across the line. Almost 10 minutes into this race. 60-minute sprint race this series. We've got a 4-hour enduro of Suzuka coming up next week. It's going to be fun. One of my other, probably my top 3 favourite circuits. This would be up there as well. Stanley following the Porsche of Carres through Eau Rouge. Keeping it almost flat to the floor. Plenty of leniency in terms of lap validations up through Raidillon. That big V8, no, not a V8 on the Mercedes, a V8 on the Aston Martin. Nonetheless, couldn't make up much ground on the Porsche there. About Retro Coffin, he's a Porsche trying to catch another Porsche, the 664 of Devon Anthony. Nothing's doing there. And these 3 cars right now. So John Rohrer still behind Rowdy Burns and Valentine. So they have no. They don't need to let him pass because he's a silver driver. It's all for position. Lap times between these 3. Valentine did a 2:22 flat, 22.167 to Burns, and a 22 flat to Rohrer as well. So Rowdy Burns just the cork in the bottle right there. Let's quickly flick across to Retro Coffin though, because he's all over the back of Devon Anthony now as they make their way through campus. Now through the right hander of Stavolo. Oh, made up a ton of ground there under brakes. Almost outbraked himself and had contact with the rear of Anthony. Puff of dust from the car they're following there. I think that's Kenneth Smith and Vadik. Let's see if he can get close enough for a potential move into the bus stop. Doesn't look like it from here. They're coming from a long way back. And nothing crazy there. So they'll continue. 11th and 12th between those two. Gap between Stanley and Carres now less than half a second. More importantly though, the gap between these two is at 1.4. It was at 2 point something before. Last lap around for Gonzalez was a 2:18.6, a 2:18.100 to Alvarez. So half a second faster on that last lap to Alvarez. Potentially Gonzalez making a little bit of a mistake there. Don't often see that. Have a look at this. So Rowdy Burns and Valentine. Rohrer has managed to get past there. So, and Valentine's dropped a couple of spots as well as Burns throwing that Porsche through Raidillon at the top of Eau Rouge. Up the Kemmel Straight. As we go on board with Rohrer. Making their way through Lecombe. So a little bit of a couple of position changes. Back to Drew Stanley as well. He's all over the back of Carres going through Pouon. So 2:19.160 to a 2:19.240, 800ths of a second. The difference on the last lap between these two. Kenneth Smith as well. I think he was one of the drivers that got caught up in that early race incident. So he's hunting down Vadik, who's the leader of the silver class, at almost the quarter-way mark. Burakovsky has made some ground. He's now into P15. Stay with these two. The gap just jumped out to 1.8 seconds now between... Oh, Carres! Oh no, look at this! This is the two drivers we were watching as well. Coming up, approaching this. Let's go have a quick look at the replay here, what happened. And that's Stanley in the 08. Oh, and they've just both a little bit of synchronized spinning, sorry. And then these guys all approaching. That's Retro Coffin there as well. So Carres getting going again. As we go back to live pictures, this is Hackey on Retro Coffin now, who was tucked in behind Devon Anthony, but I think that he got caught up a little bit in that incident that we were just watching. As we go on board with Hackey. Lamborghini versus Porsche, Italy versus Germany. And nothing's doing there at the end of the Kemmel Straight. As mentioned, it is an awkward length, 770 metres. As they go down into turn 10, following him through. So the gap between Gonzalez and Alvarez has just jumped back out to 2.5 seconds now. The last lap around, Gonzalez did a 2:17.595. Alvarez did a 2:18.122. So he's remade that ground up on Alvarez, and Gonzalez now a healthy 2.5 second lead. At the quarter-way mark of this one, Vadik leading the silver class, and Rowdy Burns. John Rohrer, what happened, John Rohrer? You dropped a whole bunch of positions. Let's go to the replay and find out. Or has it already happened? He's tucked in behind. Oh, he's hit the wall hard there. Wow, all right. And that's going to cause a lot of damage for him. That's Valentine coming through. And yeah, that's going to give him a bit of a headache moving forward. Back to Kenneth Smith on Vadik. This is 7th and 8th. Been some great racing so far. Plenty of action throughout the field. 27 car field in total. No incidents this time around through the bus stop chicane. Oh, Usman! Oh, that's coming out of... let's go to the replay and see what happened. Oh, he just got on the curb. That's in front of Chris Rise. Chris Rise just couldn't avoid him there. Made a little bit of contact with the rear, and then... yeah, that's just the icing on the cake, isn't it? Unfortunately for Usman. So the number 28 Audi... just that was out of Stavolo as we go back to the live pictures, and he's still struggling with that Audi right now. So he's not having a good time of it right now. Kenneth Smith, though, he's trying to put a move on Vadik at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Hard on the brakes. Vadik's got the inside line. Drew Stanley's going to try and just pick up any crumbs that fall off the table his way. As the other cars coming through, Anthony Coffin and Hackey, they're all having a good battle too. And here's Stanley going up the inside now. So the hunter becomes the hunted, and Stanley moves up the spot. So Kenneth Smith launched an attack on Vadik. Drew Stanley just sat back and waited for his spot and took advantage. So he moves up into 8th position now, Drew Stanley. Just behind them is Hackey and Coffin. And so Smith will want to relaunch again. From 8th to 12th, we got a lot of action on track, so plenty of little scraps starting to play themselves out as we approach A third race distance. The gap between Gonzalez and Alvarez is at 4.5 seconds now. So once again, Gage Gonzalez doing what Gage Gonzalez does. That's Hackey going around. Let's see what happened there on the replay. This is down out of campus into Stavolo, and he's just lost the back end there, and around he goes. So go back to the live action, and he's back down there in down the rear of the field there. Lost him for a second. In the meantime, though, Stanley closing up on the back of Vatic. This will be fun to watch. Mercedes versus the Nissan. They head down the hill, across the pit straight there, down through Rouge. Oh, he's got a good run on him here. Had to just pull off the power a little bit there. And that's worked in the favour of Vatic. So Stanley got a great run on him, but just had to pull out of it because he was going to make contact. The rear of the Nissan was starting to get a little bit squirrely out of there as well. Wanted to avoid any incident, and he did so. And Vatic is able to continue on in P7 there. This is where the action is on circuit. Guzman is in the pits. How long has he been in there for? Guzman been in there for 2.5 minutes so far. Might see pit stops shortly. Not too far away, I would imagine, at the 20-minute mark of this one. But it's Gonzalez, a 3-second lead now over Alvarez. Alves in third. Let's have a look at this little battle for a bit. I'm Not Jimmy and Alves in third and fourth. Last lap around, Alves did a 2:19.357. Jimmy did a 2:18.885. So the advantage to Jimmy by about half a second on that last lap. Let's see what plays out here. But Jimmy having a really good run. We'll get back to the battle between Stanley Smith, Anthony and Coffin. 8th to 11th. Just want to track this for a minute or two. And let's check on lap time. So Alves, a 2:19.480, a 2:18.7. So Jimmy, once again, faster on that last lap. Have a look at this action here. Through the bus stop chicane again. So these 5 cars are all tied together. One car will be wanting to try and just attach himself to this group as well, as Burakovsky makes a move on Ruston. Moves himself up into 13th. Stanley all over the back of Vatic. No, not track map. Hang on. How did I do that? There we go. Broadcast. Alright. Press the wrong button. Anyway, so Stanley getting a nice run here. And this time, I think he's going to do it. He's going to go up the inside. And he gets it done. Oh, that's Coffin, I think. Anthony. Oh, look, he's turned it around. So Devin Anthony. See what happened there. We were watching Stanley and Robinson. And then Devin Anthony has absolutely launched from the mile back. And taking evasive action. Outbrakes himself. Rears lock up. And he goes around. Right. Alright, so unfortunately for him, he's dropped all the way down into P14. Stanley in the middle of that though. Smith and Vatic have managed to get past. So I missed how that happened. But after all of that effort, he is now back down into P9 behind Vatic. He's continuing to do a great job there, holding down P8, sorry. So Smith managed to slip past into P7. Retro Coffin as well. He's tucked in there, looking to put a move down the inside of Stanley as they go through Stavolo. This is great stuff. Come on board with Coffin again. Oh, this is going to be awesome if they go side by side through Blanchimont. Oh, and oh no, Stanley just lost the back end. And around he goes. Oh, I reckon maybe a little bit of the aero wash there from Coffin upset the car and he lost the back end. So that's really disappointing for him because he was putting in a really great effort there. Had a great battle with Vadik. Definitely had the pace. The silver lining to that though is it doesn't look like he would have picked up too much damage there. So unfortunate for Stanley, and he's going to pit straight away. So that is another silver lining there that he was close to the pits, that he could come in and complete his pit stop as we're approaching almost the halfway mark. 36 minutes left, 24 minutes down. And it's Gage Gonzalez leading the race. 4.9 seconds is the gap between him and Alberto Alvarez. Alvarez is in third. Fourth is Jimmy, Sky, Steve Young, Robinson, Smith, Vadik, Coffin, Carres. Yeah, Juan Carres was able to pick up a couple of spots there as well. As we're watching Hackey putting a move on Rustin, who goes around as well. What's the track temperature? 23 degrees, so temperature starting to come down. It does get very, very slippery this circuit when the temperature drops. So I think that is what these drivers are experiencing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone go around at Pouon as well if these temperatures continue to drop. That usually catches drivers out, myself included. Vincent puts a move on Valentine, who's in P20 right now. He's second in class. Rowdy Burns, he's first in class, 16th outright. So he's having another great run, looking to make it 2 class victories on the trot. As we get back to Devin Anthony, he's down there in 13th, looking to make back up some spots after his little mistake there at Lacombe. And the races, as much as action as we have had, starting to settle down now. So gaps starting to spread out. Can happen on this circuit, being such a long lap. We go on board with Coffin. So Vadik has another challenger he needs to try and fend off. At the bus stop, goes up the inside. Holds the line. Coffin now trying to do a little bit of over-under action. Going to be a drag up the front straight here into La Source. This battle will continue on all the way up the Kemmel Straight into Bruxelles. Into Lacombe, sorry. Coffin looking to put the move done at La Source, and he gets it done. Nice work from him up the inside. And now he's got to defend Vadik in the Nissan. Now it's his turn to attack. He's had to defend the last few laps. Drew Stanley was chasing him down. But I think Retro Coffin is able to cement that position. So he's going to be in P8 as we approach the halfway mark of this one. Round number 4 of the Pan Am Racing Summer Championship 2023. Hope you're all having a great weekend, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome. Vadik climbing all over the back of Retro Coffin there. The Soul Nissan in the field. Don't see too many of them being raced these days in the game. Go through the double left-hander of Pouon. Juan Carres has just attached himself to this trio as well, so he's working his way up. His last lap time was a 20.5, so faster than Vadik, but slower than Retro. So the silver driver in front is Vadik. He's been defending for his position for a lot of the race. He's the silver class leader. Barakovsky, after qualifying in P1 for silver class, he's now working his way back up into P11 right now after that early race incident. And we've got first of the front runners pitting. One of them is Alberto Alvarez. So he'll be the first driver to pit. keep an eye on him. We can see if we can get a par time in terms of pit stop from him, as Carres closing up on the back of the Nissan, and Vadik decides that's enough. I'm going to make my way into the pits as Alvarez making his way there. Kenneth Smith coming in. Vadik, as mentioned. So 3 cars making their way in the pits. Oh no! What has happened here? I think the 66 Mercedes is out. So whatever was ailing him, he's done. So he's got a yellow flag next to his name, and he is in the pits. So I think that might just take a little while to process out. But anyway, Anthony now chasing down Hackey. Silver class driver versus pro driver. Wrong one. Anthony all over the back of that Lamborghini. He's right on board. Oh, a little bit of contact there, and the number 991 Lamborghini goes around, but they're able to redress it essentially and get that sorted and continue on. So play on. Hopefully no damage picked up to either car, and they're going to continue on racing. They're in 9th and 10th right now. Have a look for pit stop time. So it was Alvarez. Total pit stop time of 1:47. Smith 1:47. Vadik 1:51. Still going. No, he's stopped. Bradley in there as well. So stationary time of 32 seconds each for Alvarez and Smith. So that gives us an idea on a par time for pit stops, as Gage Gonzalez making his way into the pits. I'm Not Jimmy. Also, you either love it or you really love it. I love it. It's great stuff. Carres is into the pits as well. The on-track action that we'll click across to is Devin Anthony chasing down Hackey. In the meantime, though, Gonzalez in the pits. Just check on pit stop times. So 1:47 seems to be the par time. About 30 odd seconds, 32 seconds stationary time. As Anthony all over the back of the Lamborghini once again, going down through Eau Rouge. Looks like he lost a little bit of time there. Not able to get a run on Hackey. They're in 4th and 5th right now. Gonzalez, he is not far from finishing his pit stop. Steve Young, in the meantime, is in the lead. And Gonzalez, let's see, he's almost done here. Yeah, he's up and running again. And 1:47. Yep, so spot on pit stop. What about Jimmy? He's about to finish his 1:47 as well. So clean stops to Alvarez, and Jimmy went 1:50, so a little bit slower. Less time stopped though, less stationary time, but a longer travel time for the pit stop. So we'll keep an eye on how that pans out. Other drivers in there: Retro Coffin, Carres coming in, Rustin's already in there, and Vincent as well. Stu Skinner. Oh, that's at the end of the Kemmel Straight there at La Source. Lacombe, sorry. Let's see what happened. He's in the white and black Porsche. And, oh yeah, just Randy goes by himself there, unfortunately. And he will get going. No damage done there, though. So only a little bit of a dent to his pride. He's down there in, where is he? In the 13th right now. So here's Alves. So this is essentially the race leader. Steve Young in there as well. And Burakovsky. Devin Anthony continues to circulate. This is a nice little scrap between these two while we've just been observing pit stops, times, and all that sort of stuff. These two having a cracker of a battle. What was Anthony? 2:21.195 at 21.142 to Hackey. So nothing in it between these two. And then where's Gage Gonzalez? Gage Gonzalez coming through. Alves still in the pits. Gonzalez about to make his way down through there. How much longer for Alves? Oh, still a while to go. At least another 10 to 15 seconds for him as Gonzalez will make his way through. What happens? Stu Skinner is in the pits. That's all right. So Gage Gonzalez comes through. What about Jimmy? And who was he battling? He was battling out with Steve Young. So Jimmy is going to be able to get that done. Oh, there's Young. And there's Jimmy in the background. This is going to be really, really close. There's Young. And there he goes. So that's Jimmy. And there's Young. So Jimmy able to hold that position in front of Steve Young. So they're 7th and 8th right now. But a good strong pit stop to Jimmy. Young was a minute 48. So a total stop time of 33 seconds. Interesting between those two. Oh, Juan Carres as well, putting the move on Retro Coffin here. So he gets the position, gets the overtake completed. So he moves up into 11th. In the meantime, Devin Anthony and Hackey are continuing to go at it. There are race leaders. And Hackey's in the pit. So Devin Anthony's going to get a little bit of shine here. He will be our race leader for now. Here's Vadik. He is chasing down Retro Coffin, who just lost a position to Juan Carres. So he'll be wanting to not lose another. So go the double left-hander. Down into 4th gear. Oh, he's just wanting to turn, but it's not turning. Taking forever. Go through campus. Approach the right-hander, Stavolo. But Vadik having a good race. He is the leader of the silver class. He's in 13th outright. Burakovsky is in 14th outright. Nearly 9 seconds behind. He has completed his pit stop as well. So we've got less than halfway still to go. 23 minutes and change, in fact, remaining in this one. And the battle for silver class is up for grabs right now between Vadik and Burakovsky. In terms of AM, it's Rowdy Burns in 17th outright. He is ahead of Ryan Valentine in P19, the number 1 Mercedes. About 11 seconds the difference between those two. So we'll keep an eye on the class battles as this race continues on. Gage Gonzalez, though, is essentially the race leader here. Chris Rise in second, who has yet to pit. Oh, Vadik getting very, very loose there at the top of Radion. So Devin Anthony, our race leader, Chris Rise in P2. 2 silver class drivers yet to pit. So those two need to make their pit stops. So Gage Gonzalez, Alves wow, it's a 20.8 second gap between Gonzalez and Alves right now. I'm Not Jimmy, looking good for a podium. He's got Steve Young tucked in behind him, 2.7 seconds down the road. Andre Robinson having a really strong run in 7th. Smith 5 seconds behind him. Carres is 4.5 seconds adrift of P8 belonging to Smith in their retro coffin here, as Chris Rise decides now is the time to pit, and he's making his way into the pit lane. In the meantime though, retro coffin looking to hunt down the Porsche of Juan Carres in P9. They've got Vadik, the silver class leader, tucked in behind them, and he'll be happy to know that Burakovsky is being hassled by Drew Stanley in the number 8 Mercedes. So he'll have his hands full, which means that he won't be able to concentrate on trying to hunt down Vadik, who I do believe would be his first class victory this season in silver class. It would. He's had a second and a third the last 2 races, so third last round, second before that, and a DNF. So that'd be a nice little bit of symmetry, wouldn't it? He'd have a 1, 2, and a 3, and a DNF. He'd have the whole spectrum in only the first 4 rounds. We won't pontificate too much on that because I don't want to put the, in air quotes, commentator's curse on him. There's Chris Rise still in the pits. Devin Anthony, the only driver who is remaining, who hasn't pitted yet. Oh, did it again. Sorry, everyone. Just get my finger off that button. This has been a good race, though, as we're approaching the final third. 20 minutes and change remaining. Disqualified, speeding in the pit lane, number 21. Who is that? That's Chris Rise. Oh, no. He's just after his class win in round 1. His season has just gone from bad to worse, basically. So he is disqualified. Speeding in the pit lane. We're down to 25 remaining. As we're watching Stanley and Burakovsky. They're in 11th and 12th right now. P2 in the silver class is Burakovsky, 9.2 seconds down the road from Vadik. Poor old Chris Rise. Wouldn't be surprised if he jumps into the chat, lets us know what happened there, but unfortunately for him, his race is done. Bradley, what happened to Bradley, the Australian, at the end of the Kemmel Straight? He's got Valentine in front of him, pulls out of the draft, hard on the brakes, gets up on the curb and ends up going around. So that is not where you want to be. As we go back to live pictures, he's regathering himself now. We're going to move across to Retro Coffin. So he's hunting down Juan Carres, who does a 2-minute 19.142. Coffin does a 19.427. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Gage Gonzalez. Surprise, surprise. A 2-minute 17.675. The only driver to get into the 17 so far in the race is Gage Gonzalez. And once Devin Anthony decides to pit, Gage Gonzalez will find himself back once again in a very, very familiar spot in P number 1, looking to make it 4 wins on the trot to keep it a 100% win record. Drive-through cleared, car number 19. That's Jeremy Iscott. What happened? Ramdani by himself there out of Blanchimont, and he's slipping and sliding everywhere. Oh, that's Valentine coming through with, I think, Devin Anthony there too. That is Devin Anthony, our race leader, who is going to pit. So once he gets through there, Gage Gonzalez will take the race lead in about 18 seconds or so. In the meantime, we'll have a look at Stanley and Burakovsky still going at it in 11th and 12th. Rora manages to get past Valentine. So that's good for Rowdy Burns. That puts another car between him and his closest contender. Only 2 AM drivers in the race this week as well. And there it is. Gage Gonzalez once again goes back to the top of the times. He is now once again leading the race. And if he's able to do that for the next 17 minutes, he will take it out. Race victory number 4 of 4 for the season. Ooh, Retro Coffin closing up on the back of Juan here. As they come out of turn 16, 17, 18, Blanchimont. Stay away from those curbs in the Porsche. See who can be the latest of the late breakers here. Carrez has got his number into the bus stop. So make their way up the main straight now. You'll want to try and just tag along. Got the lights on now. It's track temperature 22 degrees. In game time 7:51. Track will be slicker than what it was at the beginning, but these drivers will have been able to adjust to it. As Hackey, that's at the bus stop as well, going the wrong way. Let's see what happened there on the replay. So he's come out of Blanchimont. He's got the Lamborghini in front of him. And has he just outbraked himself? Oh no, he's hit the curb. Yep, and sends it around and facing the wrong way. That is not where you want to be. As we go back to live pictures, Stanley once again looking to get a run on Burakovsky. He was 2/10 faster on the last lap, so definitely has the pace to match the Lamborghini, and a little bit left in tow to overtake. As they head down through turn 10. The gap between Gage Gonzalez and Alves is 25 seconds. Where are you, Gage Gonzalez? Here he is. Let's do a lap with the race leader because I feel like we don't really get to do this very often. We don't see him. I'll shut up and let's have a look. So that lap was almost the fastest lap of the race. A 2 minutes 17.700 to Gage Gonzalez. The dude is lapping in the 17s. That is an incredible pace. And that is a very, very good illustration of why he is the race leader with 12 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in round number 4. And having a look through the field right now, so Alves is 25 seconds behind him. I'm Not Jimmy in P3 there. He's 5.4 seconds behind, but he's got this man tucked in behind him as we go on board with Steve Young. They come through the source, taking the tightest line possible. They're going to race down the hill, get nice and close to that wall, open up the entry for Eau Rouge as much as possible. Hit that curb, send it right. Let the car just float across the top of Radion and keep the foot flat to the floor the whole time. Try and catch a little bit of a toe up the 770 metre Kemmel Straight. Lamborghini holding its own here. Rev limiter continuing to increase hard on the brakes, using the curves on the entry. And Jimmy doing a great job as well to keep the Porsche behind him. So this is for the final podium position between these two. Last lap around, Jimmy did a 2:19.432. Steve Young did an 18.847, his fastest lap of the race. So he's starting to feel in the groove as we come to the closing stages. Just over 10 minutes remaining. Round number 4 of the Pan Am Summer Championship. Been a cracker of a race. Seen plenty of action as we have already in the opening 3 races. Even though we had the torrential downpour in Imola. Weather settings reflective of the real life weather in the region wherever we're racing. So being summer conditions in the northern hemisphere, we're getting some delightful weather in the game as Young looming ever larger in the rearview mirror of Jimmy in the Lamborghini. Did it dunk it? Oh, like he has a peculiar sense of humour, Jimmy, but a sense of humour nonetheless. As that's Stu Skinner, the de facto teammate of Steve Young that you saw just letting these drivers through. He's down in P22 at the moment. We've got 9.5 minutes left. They come pop up the top of Radion. Absolutely flat out part of the circuit. And the Porsche not able to make up enough ground. Do like those green headlights though on the Porsche. Just tuck across to Sean Vincent. I mentioned earlier, haven't seen too much of him this season. We're having a look at him now in the Ferrari. He's got Rowdy Burns, the AM class leader, ahead of him. They're in 16th and 17th. Vincent going to go around the outside at the bus stop. A little bit of a cut back here possibly. Just hit that curb on the exit. They're going to try and duke it out into La Source. I will get back to Steve Young and Jimmy momentarily. Where are they? They've already gone through. I'll stick with these guys. At least up through Eau Rouge and Radion onto the Kemmel Straight. We'll see if Vincent... Oh, John Rohrer. What happened, John Rohrer? Had a little bit of contact there, I think. I saw yellow on my screen. And he's lost a spot to Valentine. Where was I following? Here we go. Vincent and Burns. And nothing's doing there. So... Oh, that is interesting. Who's that? They Aston Martin. This is Valentine as well. So I'm just trying to work out who that Aston Martin is. I think it's Remdani in P24 right now. Just trying to unlap himself by the looks of things. And yeah, he's done the right thing, gotten out of the way there. Vincent. Let's get across to this battle here. So Young and Jimmy. Time running out. Just on 7 minutes remaining in round number 4. This is the difference between a podium and 4th place right now for Steve Young. Last lap around, a 2:19.355 to Jimmy, 2:19.480. Oh, he just runs deep under brakes there. And that is a nice little let off there for Jimmy. Steve Young just couldn't quite pull it up at the end of the Camel Straight. So he will continue to battle on though. Drew Stanley, man, we've seen a lot of this guy today. He's been in plenty of battles. He's hunting down Burakovsky, who's P2 in silver class right now. 10th outright. And Stanley just thinking better of it there. Oh no! That is not to the plan at all. And he's gone hard into the wall. We've seen a couple of drivers do similar to that. Schneider, what's happened? Oh, this is Schneider, and that's Eastcott. That is at the top of Radion. Let's see what's happened here. We're with Schneider in the BMW. That's Eastcott ahead. Oh, who got untidy through there? Oh, and just that is just a sequence of bad luck, unfortunately, between those two at this stage of the race, and Schneider is limping back to the pit. So an unfortunate end to the race for him. And yeah, oh, look at that. That is a lot of damage. That's race over. When the bonnet's up like that, yeah, you're done. So unfortunate for him. Where is he running? He's in 17th at the moment. All right, let's get back to it, because we're in the final 5 minutes of this one. The previous 55 minutes has absolutely flown by. I'm sure the next 5 minutes will. A little bit of sort of some battle scars on the rear of the 194 Porsche belonging to this man, Steve Young, as they go through Eau Rouge one more time. Not for the last time. And you can see the gap there. That's what 0.8 of a second looks like on your screen. Let's see how he goes through turn 7 this time. We'll get into second gear. Oh, still a little bit slippery through there, so... And this is Burakovsky and Vadik. So here it is. This is the silver class lead right now. Burakovsky fell all the way back to P24 at the beginning of this race. Has worked his way back up into P10, but most importantly, he's tucked in behind the class leader of Vadik. Why do you do that? Got to work out what. Anyway, so Burakovsky looking to go around the outside. Vadik runs deep, has to take evasive action, has to cut the corner there, go over the little speed hump thingies. That's the technical term for them, I believe. Burakovsky as we go on board. Down the hill, turn 10. Vadik just runs a little bit wide. We've seen him defending so much of this race. Get with it, Nick. This is terrible. Trying my best. As I go through turn 11 now. This is great stuff. This is for the silver class win. A tick over 3 minutes remaining. Probably another couple of laps after this one. So Vadik still has a bit of work to do here to try and hold on to the class victory. Or can Burakovsky make it 2 from 2? Devin Anthony, he's in class P3. He's just 9 seconds down the road from these two. So neither of these guys want to make a mistake that ruins either of their race, because Devin Anthony's there to swoop. So is Kenneth Ruston. Schneider still circulating around. There he is, in fact. They approach Blanchimont. Will keep his foot flat to the floor. Yes, he does. Gets a nice run on him. Vadik's going to go defensive on the inside here holding his line into the bus stop chicane. Burakovsky's going to go around the outside. Can do a little bit of a cut back up and under here. Try and get a good run out of the final turn. Make some ground up under brakes into La Source. And then have a crack up the Kemmel Straight. This is going to be the determining factor here. They're getting the run out of La Source. Nice tight line through there. Got to run down the hill. Keep it nice and close to the wall here. Vadik doing exactly that. Now Eau Rouge, hold your breath. Up the hill, clip the inside curb. Run all over it at Radion. Gets a great run out of there. This is looking good. Vadik is going to have to defend. He's going to go up the inside here. Hold the line. They're going to go side by side up the back straight here. Up the Kemmel Straight into the braking zone. Who can break the latest? It looks like Burakovsky might have him. Great move around the outside. Great driving from Vadik there as well. And Drew Burakovsky with 1:20 left on the clock has taken the lead for Silver Class and 9th position outright. Great racing between those two. And that was an awesome move there from Drew Burakovsky to claim class lead right now.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
And there it is. He has about a lap and a half to hold it because Gage Gonzalez has now begun the final lap. The battle between Steve Young and Jimmy, that has settled down now. It's 1.4 seconds the gap between those two. So we haven't missed anything there. And then Rowdy Burns, he's the class leader for AM. He's got Sean Vincent ahead of him. And he's looking to take out class victory for AM. He's 32 seconds up the road from... he's... How far? Rowdy Burns is 32 seconds up the road from Valentine, who's in P2, is the only other AM driver that can challenge for the class victory. But let's have a focus on this man. We saw the lap that he did at 2:17.7. And just sliding the rear of that McLaren out of turn 9 down into turn 10. He took pole position. He took pole position last week, and he took the race win. He's about 9 turns away from making it 4 on the trot. Gage Gonzalez looking to make it a perfect start for the Pan Am 2023 summer season. Oh, the 666. Oh, that's Bradley. Unfortunate for him. But this man here, Gage Gonzalez, Vadik and Burakovsky. I'll keep an eye on Gage as he comes towards the line. This is the last throw of the dice for Vadik. And I don't think that's really going to be enough for him as they head up the Kemmel Straight for the last time this race. And yeah, that is not going to be enough. But in the meantime, this man is going to cruise to victory. Almost a 30-second gap. Lapping in the 18s till the very end. No one else could really touch him at all today. He's been untouchable the last 3 races. Today, he makes it 4 from 4. Congratulations, our championship leader. 4 wins on the trot. Gage Gonzalez, the number 31 McLaren. Congratulations. He takes out race victory by a 30-second margin. That is huge. That's a dominant victory, and that is reflective of how well that man has driven today. Congratulations, Gage Gonzalez. 20-odd seconds down the road is this man here, Mateus Alves. So he didn't race last week. He's back last round. He's back this round. And he's going to take home P2 for now. As we get to the battle between Young and Jimmy. So Jimmy is going to hold on here. He will take 3rd outright. Congratulations in the ranch livery, if you like. P3, Steve Young fought all the way to the very end. He's coming home in P4. Here's Andre Robinson. Great drive from him in P5 in the number 13 Mercedes. Congratulations in 5th position. Kenneth Smith started the race a little bit rough there, but he's finished in P6. Well done to him. Congratulations. Juan Carres coming home in 7th. Retro Coffin in 8th. And the class winner for Silver Class, Drew Burakovsky, is going to hold on. Vadik, unfortunate for him. It went a lap or two too long. And Burakovsky fought back from P24 to take 9th and class victory. one on to Vatic, and third on the podium for silver is Devon Anthony. Congratulations to him. Kenneth Ruston is looking to come home in P12 as he crosses the line. Hackey behind him in 13th. Stanley in P14. Oh, he's got some big damage there to finish this one. He was involved in scraps all day. And, yeah, that's reflected in that bonnet being up. But Trundle's on to 14th. Congratulations to him. Class victory now for the AM division is going to be this man here, Rowdy Burns. As he comes through the final turn. He's going to make it 2 on the trot for him. Congratulations to Rowdy. 2 from 2. And he takes out class victory and P15th. And who else did we have in there? 16th, Rora, Usman, Lee, Skinner, Ramandi, Schneider. But the man that they were all chasing today is, can't really get a picture on him right now, but it's Gage Gonzalez. Takes out race victory. That was a fun race. That's round number 4 in the books. So Gage Gonzalez, Burakovsky, and Rowdy Burns are all the class winners. Alves and Jimmy are the outright podium, and Vatic and Anthony are the podium for silver. And Rowdy Burns and Valentine, the only 2 AM drivers, so they don't have a third spot on the podium for there. And we can see some big penalties there. 80 seconds to Vatic and Lee. So possibly not following the correct pit stop process. But anyway, that is round number 4 in the books. And we're all done. So we do have racing, though, coming up next week. I'm pretty sure it is the 4 hours of Suzuka, which I hope is going to be as good as what we've seen recently. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure next race is going to be, the 4 hours of Suzuka, which will be next week, in fact. Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, jump on the sim grid and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, congratulations to everyone. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks for all the likes. 14 likes. That's pretty good. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well. Joe Blow was in there. Rowdy Burns got in there in the end. Mr. Berry as well. I hope you've helped find yourself who you'd like to sponsor for the car. Sharkbait in there as well. MILCIT. Who else? EC Companies Racing. Thanks to everyone. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We crossed over 500. We'd like to get plenty more as well along the journey. And if you would like some more sim racing, there will be some more tomorrow night. The Race on Oz PC League is going to be racing tomorrow night. Where are they going to be? Anyway, they're going to be somewhere. In the meantime, everyone, have a great rest of the weekend. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay safe, take care of yourself.